As summer fades to autumn and green leaves turn to brown, the children play their timeless games ere back to school for verb and noun. The corn has ripened in the fields, how tall its stems have grown. It seems 'twas only yesterday that its tiny seeds were sown. The swinging scythes of reapers their harvest rhythms play, and in the ivy the patient owl awaits his moonlight prey. Yon patcher with his knife and sheafs a grassy roof adorns. Some winter nights will test his skill with rain and Atlantic storms. A horse-drawn cart with turf piled high from the bog is slowly winding. The woodman too, with axe and saw, to cold winter needs is tending. The thrashing mill to the village comes, excitement fills the air. The chaff and straw and golden corn are billowing everywhere. As nights grow long and colder, folks gather round the turf fire warm. A candle's glow lends a haunting air to the storyteller's yarn. The cards are played, the jigs are danced, livestock lie contented. The Lord is thanked for the gifts he's brought, a sock by lamplight is mended. And so comes the end of the passing year, a Christmas choir with voices blending, but the snowdrops soon will witness give to nature's cycle never ending. Milk and potatoes were the staple diet of rural Ireland for centuries. Farmers had daily fresh milk all year round. Milking twice a day was usually a simple job, as cows in general were tame. In summer they were milked out in the field. Churning was the process by which the butter was extracted from the cream. It was hard work for the housewife, as she had to turn the handle until the butter was formed. It was then taken out of the churn and put into a wooden dish, and then moulded into blocks or rows using wooden bats. Traps and sidecars were the main means of transport. A well-decorated outfit was very important to catch the neighbour's admiring glance, or perhaps the envious one. The apprentice usually painted the wheels and the cart body with red lead. Making a spoked wheel was a very skilled job. First of all, the ellum stock was turned and then marked out for the spokes. The stock was then bored with an auger. The mortices were cut out and the spokes fitted. The felloes were then fitted and the wheel was measured for the tyre.
This is the square now, Joe, for leaving out the mortices for the spokes. You draw your pencil line there.
Alright.
It doesn't matter where you start. But from there on you have to be very careful because you're going to put in 12 spokes and they have to be equal distance apart.
Right.
And don't wind up with 13 spokes or possibly 11 for that matter. Now get your square, this is Joe, and put your pencil line across at each one of those depressions.
Okay.
And if there happens to be a bit of a split such as that in the stock,
Yeah.
you put a mortise each side of that, and that presses the opening back again into place.
Right. Okay.
Never put a mortise like on a split.
Right.
You see, that spoke that you're going for there has to be directly opposite the one on the other side.
I understand.
If it isn't to the back wheel. And then you keep an eighth of an inch there from that line, do you see?
Yeah.
And that will give you the dish of the wheel.
Yeah. The dish is very important. Wouldn't be much good, I suppose,
Well,
about that.
straight wooden wheel wouldn't be any use at all, because it wouldn't work for maybe a month until it would fall back again the side of the cam. And the whole job was gone waste. So you had to have at least an eighth of an inch. Some wheelwrights gave more and some less, but I always favoured 1/8 of an inch, which was, I thought, reasonable like for the job. Keep the auger a bit more this way at the top though.
Best of all.
Welcome.
You're very busy, I see.
Well, always doing something.
You are. I was hoping you might make a pair of cap with me. Lucky cap.
I'd make a pair all right for you.
Yeah.
Have you the tyres?
I have the whole lot now, just that the timber is decayed on me.
Yeah. See, you had to have the spoke touching that every
Touching
time.
it. Yes.
As near as possible, like.
Yes.
If it did come a bit too much and you couldn't get it back, well, you'd have to shave the front of the spoke again. And,
I see.
get it to
Yes.
this point.
Yes.
It isn't annoying.
Yes. Yes. So it's a highly skilled job making a wheel.
Oh, very.
It
Very
is.
good.
It is.
And then if you had the mortise too tight, you could burst the stock, because you notice there, like, there's no hoops on the stock,
Of course.
and you had to have them properly well fitted.
You had.
Or you could burst the stock maybe.
Tell me, does any glue go on the making of a
Oh,
wheel?
no glue,
No,
no wedge, no nail, no nothing.
No.
Only
Just the skill of the craftsman.
properly well fitted, yeah.
Yes.
That was it.
And of course there's irons to go on around here as well.
the
isn't
hoops
that
have
right?
to, the stock hoops
Yeah.
have to go
I have
on.
those anyway on my my wheels, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
for you to.
Well, bring them with you, so, and
I will indeed.
pick you up.
So, could I call back? I leave in the stuff now.
You want to leave in the tyres, because I want to get the height, you see.
Yes,
You have to
yes.
put the spokes to the height of your tyre.
Yes, yes.
So,
Oh, of course,
you
yes.
have to have the tyre before
And,
you can zoom up
When can
more.
I call back?
You can call back in a week's time and
Yes.
bring your irons with you.
That would be lovely. Right. Our best of luck anyway.
All the
Thanks
best
very
now.
much now. Bye bye.
Cut them now, Joe. will you?
Cut off that completely, Paddy, is it?
Yeah, cut that off there. Cut them off there at that line. Keep on the centre now of the fender the whole time. Oh, you're not too bad. You'll improve. That'll do that now.
Hopscotch and skittles were two of the games most favoured by children. The early varieties of potatoes were regarded as a delicacy during the summer before the main crop was fit for digging.
Oh, how are you, Martina?
Have you been pound already?
Are you happy today?
Not so bad now. Have you been pound already?
I have. You want to pound the kelly for them?
I have the spuds ready now. They're dead roaring for the dinner.
This will pound them. You see that?
Not so bad. Fair play to you.
Put a bit
It's
of
a
twine
grand
in it
job.
here now and you can hang it up.
Honest to God, it's a grand job, Petty. Thanks
Yeah.
a million now.
Yeah.
Do you know the new potatoes are grand too?
I'll give you that as a present for Christmas.
Well,
I
fair
didn't
play
give you
to you.
anything last Christmas.
That's grand. Thanks a million, Petty. That's a grand job
Okay.
now. Okay.
Making a St. Bridget's cross was also a feature of rural life at harvest time. The St. Bridget's cross was made from straw and stored in a safe place until St. Bridget's Day on February 1st. It was then hung on the kitchen wall. The harvest knot was made from ears of wheaten straw and worn on the coat collar. In addition to turf, timber was also used as fuel. It was cut into short logs with a cross-cut saw and split into small blocks with an axe.
That's great. Phoebe, will you bring us out a drink? Come here, Becky. Go out that door. Bring out a drink, Phoebe, will you?
Now, Paddy, are you very thirsty?
I guess we'll push with the top.
Must do with the thirst.
That's great.
Mind, it's not too strong. It won't do you any harm.
Do you want some, old chief? And you hope you sing that song for us,
I'm
Phoebe?
afraid not.
That'll do.
The chest didn't. What would I sing? Anyway.
The
Good,
moon
well, this man will have to help me.
have you the moon behind the hill?
The wood chopper's ball.
Yeah.
It's a bit long.
The blacksmith was never short of work. Some farmers used the mowing machine to cut the corn, and they usually needed some repairs after the season.
So you have the gear ready, Paddy?
I have the drag I ready there the other day. That told you.
That'll do me flying.
9 foot 6.
Aye.
Your tower about 10 foot.
The 9 foot 6 will do.
But I think it will be a bit too wide for a wooden gear, 10 feet.
Well, probably would be in the long side of right store. How much is that, Paddy?
I let you for a pound this time.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll have a few on Monday evening. I'll be on the fair and Lockram and I'm going to sell a few lambs.
Right, I was thinking you wouldn't have it anyway.
Well, I haven't either. I might have some, but I haven't at all.
Most I'll throw it up with you.
Fair enough.
Most farmers kept pigs. A wooden trough was used to hold the food.
Go, Paddy.
Aye.
There, Paddy.
Aye, Harry.
Don't make the whole top, mate.
I did. Have the pig hungry.
Right there, I want to step
Have
in
you
now.
many?
I have about 15.
That do you.
Come on, Paddy.
You want feed 15 is that? You want 14 then?
I want 14. So
Now right one now.
What's the weight one?
Yes, you had a bit of a hope there now when the car was
It's tight.
You had a bit of hope iron and two inch nails, wire nails.
Yeah. How much is that, Paddy?
15 shillings.
Yeah, right. So I see you pass back again, Paddy. All right.
Are you
want
going
money on me now? I am.
Don't get drunk now. Don't get drunk now. Forget about the trap.
Okay, Paddy. Thanks very much.
Right.
Thanks for now. Thanks very much. We'll see you, Paddy.
Cutting corn with the scythe was one of the harder jobs at harvest time, and was usually done by the older men. When cut, the corn was then made into sheaves, and later placed in stooks.
Oh, how are you, Martin? Nice day for cutting the corn.
Oh, it's grand. Just suitable for the grand.
That is. Not much sunshine, but good enough until
I might
dry.
stay half an hour, Joe.
Is it only half an hour? Of course, half an hour. Are you any good binder?
I'm not so bad at all now.
Try that one there when we see. Are you any good? Maybe you're no good at all.
Wait.
Dear Danny, I'm taking the pen in me hand to tell you we're just out of sight o' the land. In a Grand Allen liner, I'm sailing in style, and I'm sailing away from the Emerald Isle. And a long sort of sigh seems to come from us all when the waves hit the last bit of old Donegal. 'Tis good to be you that is taking your tay when they're cutting the corn in Creeslaw today. There's a woman on board who knows Katie by sight, and we'll talk of old times till they cut out the lights. I'm to meet the good woman tomorrow on deck, and we'll talk about Katie from this to Quebec. I know I'm no match for her, oh, not the least, with her house and 2 cows and her brother a priest. But Katie declares that her heart's on the sea, while mine's with the reapers in Creeslaw today. I spoke to the captain, but he won't turn around. If I jump overboard, I'd be apt to be drowned. There is no need to worry, oh, there's no need to fret. When the dinners are due, might call a banquet. The waiters are sumptuous, I'd swap the whole lot for the owl wooden spoon and the stir-about pot. When we saw a wee farrel a-wetting the tay, when they're cutting the corn in Creeslaw today. So goodbye to you, Danny, there's no more to be said, for I think the salt water's got into me head. For it drips from me eyes as I call to me mind the friends and the colleen I'm a-leaving behind. Oh, Danny, she wept when I bade her goodbye. There was just the less taste of a tear in her eyes, and a break in her voice when she said you might stay, but please God I'll come back to old Creeslaw someday.
Nearly every parish had a hurling team, so the man with the skill to make a hurling ball was in great demand. become a good hurler for the parish or the county, starting young was the secret. The corn was left in stacks for 9 to 10 days, and then, weather permitting, was made into field stacks. This was a skilled job because the stacks had to be waterproof. This was a happy time for the farmyard hens, as they got to feed on all the ears of corn that were raked in after the stacking. In October, the potatoes were dug and piled in a reek, and then covered with straw and left to season, especially if the stalks were green before being dug. The reeks were later covered with clay. Here again, the housewife was called into action. Gathering the sheaves was sometimes inspected by a shy visitor. After some weeks' seasoning in the field, stacks of corn were taken into the haggard and made into large stacks. During this operation, the lifestyle of some of the rat and mouse population could be seriously disrupted. Certain locations in country parishes were regularly visited for a few weeks each year by the same travelling families. They made buckets, cans and other utensils from tin. They also cleaned chimneys in the locality. Some would have goats, ponies, donkeys and dogs. The local people were usually very generous to them.
How are you?
Not so bad.
How are you going? I didn't see you this long time.
Are you long here?
Only a few days, sir. You must be doing the job.
A few of them.
You got to know where you are. Nothing like that. Let's get you off for so nice to see you.
Must I don't be around here much?
No.
That's a great looking bucket.
That's a good sound job.
It's got nothing. Mightn't be as good as what you used to do years ago, but they got not bad now. Not bad.
I'm not getting young.
Sure, none of us is getting young. I'll be off again. I've a long way to go.
Well, the best of luck to you.
I'll see you.
You'll be twice as good when I see you again.
I am yourself.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Bringing home the turf with a horse and cart was another important job at harvest time.
Hello, sir.
Have you the book ready for me?
That I have, sir.
Good
I have
looking,
to come, sir.
a good looking job.
That was a good job. Good job. You won't get that book over it yet.
What will I cost me?
Half a crown.
Sure. Jumla, give me the book. Give me the book, Jumla.
Hey, yeah. Listen, notice, huh?
Yes, grand book.
That's a good book. That's a good book. That lecture for years, sir.
Good luck, now.
God bless you, sir.
Thanks.
All the best. Thanks very much, sir. Have you any potatoes, sir?
No, sir. No potatoes, no for you.
Huh?
You try have a turn full of do you?
Yes, sir.
That's a good quality turn.
Yes, sir. Thanks very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm going up the road again. Give me a lift up the road.
I mean, this old ass is a
The
big
missus has
player.
gone a long time now and I want to see where she's gone.
I think I seen her down the road.
Where? Up the road there. Right.
She's down that way. I seen her.
What?
She's down that way.
Down this way.
Yeah, I seen her. She was begging. She was begging her load this morning at our house.
Ah, well, that's all right. So, sir.
Come on, John.
Right.
Right.
I'll see you again. How are you?
You sell that house, sir.
I won't tell him, no.
I give you a good price for him, sir.
No matter what you give me, I won't sell him. So on. What do you want him anyhow for?
I want him to bring him for the car.
For the car, but you're definitely never car.
And the tubbies.
She's not so bad because she could be the cause of killing you.
They're both forward.
She's a poor forward. And I'm sure of it long today.
You can sell them.
Come on. Look at that. He's a pork.
There he is.
Oh, here.
You won't sell them.
I won't. No, I'll hold on to him. I'm going to tell him on the show and I'll hold on to
God, the best look to you.
And the more possible.
Good luck.
Hup! Forward! Hup! 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 How are you, sir? How are you going on? Hup!
You get man.
Hup! Hup!
I won't be long away now.
Where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going?
I'm going to your mother. I am. She didn't come back now. She should be back. Hi. Hi there. Bye-bye.
The hand-operated thrasher was the first mechanical model to appear in Ireland. It succeeded the flail and was a marvel in its day. but it soon gave way to the engine-powered threshing mill. When the thresher came to the village, it caused great excitement, especially for the young people. Up to 14 or 16 men were required to attend to the various jobs. As the corn was being thrashed, the straw was made into a large cock, and then tied down with straw ropes to secure it against the wind. A solid meal is much appreciated after a day's thrashing. The women would also be very busy preparing the meals and chatting to the men as they ate the bacon and cabbage. Many of the houses in the 40s had thatched roofs, and therefore the thatcher was a very important person. This skill could mean the difference between a wet or a dry home in winter. Houses were usually thatched in autumn, when straw was plentiful. The scallops were usually pointed at the fireside the previous night.
Do you ever hear the yarn about the two lads that lived together one time? There were two lads, and begad, they were two brothers. If you met Mick in the road, you'd think it was Pat, and if you met Pat, you'd think it was me, and you wouldn't know one from the other. But one day I didn't want them die. And their other brother was in the pub the following night. And this lad, he was a bit of a loser man anyhow. He said he'd like to go over and sympathise with him. But he went over anyhow. And he looked at the lad. He didn't know which of them it was, you know. He shook hands with him. He said, I'm very sorry. He said about the death. Oh, will you tell me this much, he says. Was it you or your brother, do you? A well-pointed scholar, how many cuts of a knife does he want? Huh? 4?
None, I suppose this is well pointed.
You're right. No, I want to hear one of us well-pointed, sure.
God bless you.
God bless you. God bless you.
How are you going on with me lot of lads?
They're not so bad now. Not so bad.
That's great.
Not so bad now.
I needed them badly, now I'll want them tomorrow morning.
No,
and, well lads, what I want to know, did you put a good pint on them? Because
they're not great.
Some of them don't be terribly pinted, you know?
Yeah. Cold up in that house?
Oh, that's the truth for you.
It is.
I'm not even warm yet after coming in to tell you the truth.
As I said before, you should tie a bit of twine round the bottom of the trousers there and to keep the breeze from going up the leggy of breeches.
Well, that's the truth for you.
It is.
No. And that's what I do the Monday when I'm going up.
You're right, too.
I will keep it sure.
Because I was a catcher, and they never called me anything, only a son of a catcher.
Is that right?
Did you ever hear that?
I did.
Son of a catcher.
That's an old tradition. I think that's several times.
Yeah. Son of a catcher.
And that look forward to the damn cold. My hands is the worst.
Ah, why wouldn't I?
They have to be sure.
But you couldn't catch with gloves on you know.
No, you could not.
No, twisting the old rod this way.
Twisting an old rod and trying to pull up straw and everything.
Ah, it's very hard.
It out.
It's hard work.
Not at all.
Hard work. What kind of straw is that?
Hmm?
What kind of straw?
That's the straw.
That straw you're touching with?
No. It's all real old waiting straw.
Waiting straw, you can't bear
It's
it.
straw one.
What about rotten straw?
That is good too.
That's good.
That's good.
Aye.
But Steve, that now and blows down we were done.
Ah, yes.
But take it on it.
Ah, good.
God bless you.
God bless you now.
I'm going now. Good night to you now.
Good night.
And
Good
thanks a
night.
lot.
Good night. We'll see you some night in July, Mark. Good luck now.
Good night to you all.
Good night.
Do you think that was a great laugh?
During the long winter nights, and especially around Christmas time, card games were a great source of entertainment. 25 was the most popular game.
See that now. That game. Look at that one. And that one. Absolutely. That'll be it. Is it your deal now or is it mine? God, it's getting on, isn't it?
Soon, 6.
Hmm?
They'll be soon coming at that. Clubs again.
Do you know now, Tom? I think it's getting very late. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Did the Lord Harry, I better light the candles. They should be lit longer. Leave that there for a minute. Now, a few matches. I hope they're not all gone burnt. It's a nice old tradition, isn't it, Tom, the lighting of the candles in the window. That looks very nice now, doesn't it? Hmm? What are you listening to there, Tom?
200 bombers gone flying over Germany.
200 bombs. Why don't you go and try and up with them, Tom?
I might be shot.
You might be shot.
What would you do then if I was?
Oh no, Tom.
Be quiet, will you?
I'll get on, don't you worry.
Gee.
I might find a young lad that should help me around the house instead of listening to a radio.
Women, shh.
Ben!
God save her here.
Hey, Sean. You're welcome.
Thanks, love.
What's it doing outside?
Just freezing a bit. Freezing nicely, sir.
It's nice to have the right side of the house out.
Listen, no, any news about the war, Tom?
Huh?
Any news about the war?
Oh, but yeah, the Germans are retreating from Russia, but the Japanese are putting up a fierce fight in the Pacific.
And the Russian winter will kill the Germans.
Better have a drop of tea, Sean.
Aye, before the crowd comes in.
Well, you're expecting them very soon now.
I thought I'd be late. And say that him first.
We just might get the drop of tea in beforehand. If I'd only get a bit of help from this fella, but all I see is the phones in his ears and the pipe in his mouth.
Sean, I'm cooking all this day. And that's the thanks I get for it.
That's it, Did you ever get that record, Tom?
I got it alright, but it's a bit scratchy. Will I put it on for you?
Oh, do. We'll have a listen to it.
There we go.
The music is lovely, isn't it?
I thought I'd get a better one now, but your man was playing it. It was well bored.
All right. Don't break the spring in it.
At least we can hear it. Thank God there's no phones to your phone for that.
Talking about pains in our bones all day.
Oh, how are you? You're very welcome. How are you? How are you, John? You're very welcome. Take a seat there. You're very welcome. I'll take your food. How are you? You're very welcome. Wait a minute here. Take a seat. I know. You're welcome. Now, take a chair.
Well, seeing as you came now, lads, you might as well sit in and play, because I don't want to be kept up until 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, like the last night. So, and I want no fight now, by the way, lads. A clean game. It's cold enough, lads, tonight, isn't it? It'll go through the pits.
It'll go through the pits, that's the issue.
No way.
How are you getting on? That's the best of you. You're getting on, I say.
What's that you have?
This is a goose, John.
No.
Any chance you pay enough for me?
But I said that again, then.
Do you know that's a goose's head? Again, there's a different head allocated to here. There's a big one. Oh, Jay, he's going to pick me some.
I get a bit of proof to that, don't you?
You what? Well, let me out. I have the proof here for you. I bought her to kill up for Christmas. And I put her in the shade, and I went out to a place one, and she lay it. And let me out, isn't that day?
Well, then, surely you go so.
Oh, the goose for definite.
But should that could be another goose to say?
Do you not? Because there's only the one goose in the
We
house.
he don't trust you.
There's only the one goose in the house, but I don't tell you so.
I never tell you what, everyone. I don't think you will play out for you. What do you want to play? We will forward.
How much you men?
Well, if I know, it's a good session, are you?
Sure, the rest, sure. What's the good pleasure on Chile, yeah?
The other end for you.
Down there, we'll be clear out.
Right.
Right, Kenneth.
Go on, Liam.
That's all right.
Yes.
You get your money when you come back. We have plenty of it.
Do that. Yeah.
They were in the parlour. They are
In the parlour. Right.
Was there a yonder with that goose?
There was there.
Hello.
He's an old one, there.
You got almost got Richard.
Look, teacher.
When we had this finished. Right. Oh.
Well, I'd swear that I saw that goose 5 years ago above in the house.
You probably gambled before.
That one has been played 1,000 times, but she's been played once.
She's wrinkles and wrinkles.
She's wrinkles, she has.
I say she wants a bit of a buying.
I said, be easy and let you know the buy for
That's good.
Very good. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Lovely singing.
Good luck to you now.
And looks out o'er the sea, and sleeping time or waking time, it's there I'd like to be, to walk again those kindly streets, the place where life began, with those boys of Barnes Roger, who hunted for the ran. With cudgels stout we'd roam about in search of the droline. We'd search for birds through every furze, from letter to domain. We'd leap for joy beneath the sky, as through the fields we'd run, when those boys of Barnes Roger went hunting for the ran. When the hills they were bleeding, and the rifles were aflame, to the rebel the black and tan, where the boys of Barnesroger, who hunted farther on. Now they toil in foreign soil, where they have made their way. Deep in the heart of London town, or over in Broadway, and I am left to sing their deeds and praise them while I can. Those boys of Barnesroger, who hunted farther on. Here's a health to them tonight, wherever they may be, by the roads of Cotton River or the slopes of Beamathy. John Dolly and Pat Andy and the Sheens, Con and Dan, and the boys of Barnesroger, who hunted farther on. When the wheel of life runs out and peace comes over me, just take me back to that old town between the hills and sea. I'll take my rest in those green fields, the place where life began, with those boys of Barnesroger, who hunted farther on.
Well, goodbye now, and thank you very much.
Thank
for
you.
the great night.
Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye. Enjoy.
Bye. Good, Sean.
Thank you. Sit down, Sean. Glad you joined the Happy Mummers.
The house with the biggest kitchen in the village was always selected for the Mummers' Spree, which was held some night between Christmas and the New Year. The money collected by the Mummers would help to provide refreshments. The men who did not go out with the Mummers would pay 2 shillings each. All women were free. It usually went on to the late hours of the morning.
Now, by way of change, I want to call on a very good friend of mine, Mark Moore, and he's going to sing a song, The Home I Left Behind. Thank you very much, Mark.
I was born on a hillside by yonder flowing stream. Its memories are in my mind, its meadows fresh and green. It often nearly breaks my heart and gives me a troubled mind when I think of dear old Ireland and the home I left behind. I went into the valley for to bid my friends adieu. I stood upon a bonny bridge, the boglands for to view. I stood upon that far bridge, like I used to many's a time. It's from there I took my last fond look at the home I left behind. It was early next morning, with a sad and broken heart, I stood on the hearth of my father's floor. It's sad we both must part, with me mother's arms around my neck, and the tears her eyes did blind, as I tore out from her arms in the home I left behind. We travelled through old Ireland till we came to Queenstown Quay. 'Twas there I saw a steamer bound for America. 'Twas there I saw a steamer bound for some foreign clime. I thought my heart would surely break for the home I left behind. And since I've landed in New York, strange faces I have known, but there's none so dear or so near to me as the ones I left at home. And when I've lots of shining gold and a girl to make my bride, I'll roll her in my arms in the home I left behind.
have a brush here, but don't worry, I'm not going to ask any to sweep the floor. What I am going to do is ask Paddy and Pauline Malone to do one of their favourite numbers, a twig dance. Pauline, all yours. And now, I want to call on the star of the show, our local Shanachie, Mike Nash, to give you one of his special renditions. Michael.
But you know, Johnny Murphy was a sort of like myself, you know. He was the little bitty in harness, you know. And he was the eldest of the family. There was in the family 4 boys. And the mother thought nothing of Johnny because he hadn't a bit of education, you know, but the other 3 boys were smart and they were educated, sent off to Maynooth and made 3 priests. And she blackguarded poor Johnny. But anyway, after 4 years in the missions, the 3 boys came home. Lord, there was a mighty commotion. And there was nothing about Johnny, of course, as usual. But because the first morning they were home anyway, Johnny was out doing the jobs in the yard. And God, he got the smell of the pen, rashers and sausages and the hopping on it, man alive. And he went and sat down beside the fire. So begorra, the first thing what happened up got Father Gerald. Good morning, Father, she said. Oh, good morning, Mother, he says. Had you a nice night, Father? Oh, he said, I had a beautiful night, he said. I had beautiful dreams of angels singing in heaven. Lord, she said, wasn't that grand? No, move over all that, Johnny, she said, and let down Father Gerald. So we got the next thing up gets Father Gerald. Good morning, Father. Oh, good morning, Mother. Had you a nice night? Well, Lord, he said, I had a beautiful night. The angels were singing in heaven. And I had such a lovely night. Lord, she said, isn't that grand? Will you move over all that, Johnny, and let down Father Gerald? At this stage, poor old Johnny was halfway up to the door. The next thing up gets Father Tom. Good morning, Father. Good morning, Mother. The same rigmarole. So because at this stage, poor old Johnny was shoved out nearly at the door. So he was getting fierce fed up, and the next thing he said, I had a dream too. She said, wouldn't it all surprise me? What were you dreaming about? She said. He said, I dreamt I was in hell. More than likely, she said, she's going to be the spot you're going to end up in. She said, what was it like? And he said, it was a sort of like here. She said, what do you mean? Well, he said, there were so many priests around the fire I couldn't even get near us. I had a spot of trouble at the old care lately. Lord, it has me heart broke. But I was moseying along between Athlone and Ballinasloe. And Lord, didn't I pick up this grand pusher. Grand evening, Missy, said I. Tea, she says. We'll get rain, said I. Wheel, she says. I often saw your face somewhere before, said I. Oh, because you could have, she says. I never go anywhere without it. At this stage I was getting horrible fed up and I started putting down the boot. And she said, take it easy, she said, the bumps don't suit me. Oh God, between us and our harem, said I, oh, not that. She said, well, thanks be to God, said I, anyway. Oh, she said, I had an operation. Oh, had you, said I, a sore thing? Oh, Tish, she says, I had me pin in Nickedick's hours, sir. You had your whatty, said I. Oh, she said, I had me pin in Nickedick's hours. She said, would you like to see what I had at hours, sir? Because, said I, sure, I wouldn't have mind. And we were passing out with this red brick building, and she said, there's where I had it hours. Lord, that was a drop as far as I was concerned. But anyway, we got up and we going along grand, and the next thing did me hand start rising. They handed me water gauge, the usual trouble-laking radiator. But I pulled up on the side of the road, and this day some woman, God bless her, didn't she give me a bucket of water, and I topped up my radiator, and I had about half a bucket left over. And didn't I throw it in over the ditch? But the Lord, the minute I did, this half-drowned so-and-so stuck up his head. And he said, how dare you so-and-so, throw water in over the ditch? I said, now look at here, me boyo, said I. How dare you, said I, use abusive language like that? Do you realise I've a lady in the car? He said, what the hell do you think I've in here? A water hin, is it?
One of my favourite songs, the Connemara Cradle song. All right, Sean.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
On the wings of the wind, o'er the dark rolling deep, angels are coming to watch o'er thy sleep. Angels are so listen well
so ends another year.
When the golden sun sinks in the west, and the toil of a long day is o'er, though the road may be long in the lilt of a song, I'll forget I was weary before. For ahead where the blue shadows fall, I shall come to contentment and rest. All the cares of the day will be all charmed away in my little grey home in the west. There are hands that will welcome me in. There are lips I am burning to kiss. There are 2 eyes that shine just because they are mine, and 1,000 things other folks miss. It's a corner of heaven itself, though it's only a tumble down now.